the indigenous people. That is the solution I will give to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. That was a good submission, and I respect the fact that you're a veteran and you've had your own share of the Nigerian history. What I'm going to say is this, right? A lot of the things you said, I agree with you, but I don't agree with most of the things you said, and I'll give you my reason why. The reason why I asked you when you said something happened in Imo State, I'm sure you're referring to Opus of Dema, and I asked you the year, okay? Whatever it is that's been going on in Nigeria has always been if you can smile, that's your own business. Here's my point. You said the Constitution is a sham. Well, to some extent. But guess what? The Constitution is not our problem. It's the implementation of the Constitution. That's where we have problem. This is the same Constitution under which Peter Obi served as a governor 2 terms. They didn't give him any problem. They did not give him any problem. You see, we come up with different excuses just to get away with any point we want to make. And it's boiling down to the same thing. People that are clamoring for the Nnamdi Kanu thing, the Biafra, the IPOB people, when you guys make your submission, it's always obvious. I keep saying it. You guys want us to just scatter the whole thing right now. It's not going to work that way. We have a choice right now. We have someone we are pushing for. This is someone that has done it before as a governor. He wants to do it. His track records are speaking for him right now. And guess what? Since we've been practicing democracy, only soldiers don't take over power. We've never had a regular civilian taking over power since what did they call it? Democracy. Obasanjo, once an army, Yaradua. If not because he died, Jonathan.
Brother Jimmy.
Can I?
If you permit me to just step in this. Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
Let me. Yeah, I'll bring you to just
okay.
To say something. Yeah. So Jonathan had to finish up for him. Then we had Buhari, and now we have the chance to get a simple civilian there, right? But they had to push Tinubu to do whatever it is they want to do. You see, all I'm saying is we have a last chance to get this right. I don't know what P2B has done to some people. I don't know if people just don't want to give him that chance. They said they're not going to listen to Ram. He will not work. What makes you think he won't work? Why are you preempting what has not actually happened? This is someone that he was ruthless with his decision. Oh, now this man when they talk with a smile, because they do my brother, my respected elder brother. When he wants to do, he does it. When he wants to act, he acts. He does it at the right time. We're not dealing with a novice here. Anambra was not a safe haven when he entered. It was a jungle. They kidnapped the former governor. What's the name of this guy? They kidnapped him. Ingige. They kidnapped him.
My system.
He deliberately went there to do something. He went there to work. The brothers, he dealt with them. He chased these what's it called, this other one where they kidnap Evans, the kidnapper. Out of that town. I don't know whatever it is you guys are clamoring for. I don't look. The majority are more than what is going on right now. It is not business as usual. So whatever it is you guys are thinking about right now, this is what I'm saying. You've heard our back and forth about the whole Biafra thing. Nnamdi Kanu had the opportunity of becoming the biggest and powerful godfather there is, even if he doesn't want to put himself out there. he can easily just tell them. They will be reaching out to him that they need support of people from the southeast. You can blow the thumbs down as much as you like. That's your own problem. It's my submission, and it is what I believe can move forward. Because right now, I believe some certain types of people are segregated themselves from Nigeria already. They don't want to be part of Nigeria again. So when they talk like someone out of Nigeria already. You guys are not even looking at giving it a last chance so you can have one country. You've already made up your mind. So I'm not here to give you the back and forth, but don't come here and tell people Peter Obi cannot do it. No, don't do that. Don't come here and tell people it's not going to work. The same people that... No, you don't know that. You don't know that. When we speak on this space, they listen to us now. In case you've not noticed, we are the one calling the shot right now. The obedient movement. You can laugh. You can do whatever you want to do, but take it. We are the one changing the status quo. We know the power we have right now. And Obi is not going to mess up when he gets there. I know he will get there. So you guys should not come up with all this. You know, you come up with different reasons why it should not, it won't work. And when they ask you for solution, your solutions are not feasible. Your solutions are not feasible. I keep saying it. You guys don't even know when you've won the battle. Peter Obi is your kinsman. He's from your tribe. They didn't vote for him because he's an Igbo man. Yoruba Igbo have voted for him. They clamored for him. It's not an Igbo thing. We want one Nigeria. This is the last chance for us to get it working. Let us give it a chance. That's what I'm saying. If it doesn't work this time around, then yeah, everywhere can go to shit. But right now, I'm involved in this movement. A lot of people are involved. It's not an Igbo thing. It's a Nigerian thing. And we will get our country back. I don't care who you are. Don't come here and tell us it's not going to work. Hey, they tried it before. They did it. I don't care. It's a new ball game entirely. We are changing the status quo. We have come to stay and take it. We are getting our country back. Igbo Yoruba Hausa, I'm married to an Igbo woman. We are not going anywhere. We've interwoven into ourselves. No one is leaving anybody. If we're getting a good country back, we are getting it collectively, not by tribes. So please, I respect what you guys are fighting for. I love what you stand for. But I'm saying, God damn it, let's give it the last chance. Please, enough of all this Biafra talk. I beg. We have someone capable. We have the antecedent to get it done. Let's clamor right behind him. And I'm right behind him. Thank you. Back to you, Imperfect. I beg.
Okay, sorry. Are we to miss the one like keeping something? I don't know. Then after him, go to Lukman, please. Oh, sorry, Kenny has not spoken before.
Okay, my brother, I'm imperfect. You see, only when we do things, we are just carried along with time. I don't wish anybody evil. And I don't wish anybody that believes is in own opinion any evil. But time will tell. Thank you, Mr. Imperfect.
All right, thank you so much.
Jimmy, you are now a dictator. You are now a tyrant.
Okay, it's okay.
I have a question, Mr. Imperfect, for Awibumi. I really enjoyed his submission. Sir, I really did. I'm going to go on the opposite side of my colleague, of whom I agree with the sentiments of where it's coming from. Now, this is my question to you. You said we want dialogue. We have to all come together. How do we bring this about peacefully? Because this solution you are saying is what we've all been aware of. It's not a new solution. What is the most peaceful means by which we can bring about dialogue? So what is the roadmap, in your opinion, if you had the power? Go ahead.
Yeah, my sister, thank you so much. You see, the dialogue that is going to come will come from the people. Not from, if you look at the Midwestern states, when it was created, it was through a referendum people proposed for it. The part that brought Adamawa back to Nigeria from Cameroon was through a referendum or plebiscite. The one that took the southern Cameroons back to Cameroon was also through a referendum. I would have loved to see Nigerians, instead of continue to abide with that foundation. And this thing has gone off.
No, we can hear you, sir. It hasn't gone off. You are speaking loudly. Can you hear me?
I don't know. I was complaining that he had low battery or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Oh God, I see. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Okay, let's let some other people speak. Maybe when he comes back, Mr. Imperfect, please indulge me when he comes back. I have some pertinent questions I want to ask you, so I'll keep quiet for that. Yes. Once he comes back online.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Imperfect, can I speak?
You spoke before now. Read Everbase. You don't talk past everybody. People damn.
Read others, wait for others. Read others, wait, let others. There's Lukman, there's Captain Eric, there's Gaboni. Let them talk to let's hear their point of view.
They've not spoken before. Hold on, sir. Let's have Kenny, then go to Captain, then come to Lukman, then go to Gaboni, please.
Imperfect, me and you go fight.
You go beat me, no worry. I know they fight with me. You go beat me.
Thank you, Imperfect. You know, I've talked on Space before. I mean, they have tagged me IPOP or called me all sort of stuff all the time, and that's fine. Even though they've not seen anything or I've not posted anything about it, but I'm just in defense of justice. The only thing I have with IPOP is, Nnamdi Kalu's agenda is, even in a developed world, where they tried to do for people to separate themselves, which is the people of Catalan. I think it's in Italy.
No, Spain.
In Spain, sorry, in Spain.
Catalonian, yes.
Catalonians. This is a country that practices democracy, right? And this is just me watching politics, just watching politics, and I'm considering what is the possibility that there is going to be a Biafra. You know, if I watch the Spain that is practicing pure democracy, and those people could not achieve it, at the point of the result being collected, the police swooped in, and everything was a mess. You know, so the question now goes to, okay, how are you even going to make this happen in Nigeria that doesn't even practice real democracy? How is it possible?
Kenny, let me add into that mix. Scotland in United Kingdom, they wanted to join EU. We are still talking about it till today. These are countries that are practicing democracy.
Exactly. So that's where I come to the conclusion. It's a soundbite. And if that soundbite, propaganda, the truth is beside it and everything, I've watched it all through. You know, and I'm not in support of what I've spoken about, and that's why they tagged me IPOP. But the reality is, it's not possible. So if you say P2B is not going to do this, it's not going to do that, it's a reality to you now that the government in power today is not, we never do that. So how can you get there? Is the question. If you at the same time say, okay, you wanted to have a seat at the table and have a dialogue, the power that you have today has said no. The power you have yesterday said no. The power you have there before yesterday said no. So how can you get there? Is the after all this brouhaha that we are shouting, okay, it's the same thing. The constitution is a man. How do we now get to that dialogue? That table that you want to sit on. How can you get there? And at the same time, you're trashing P2B at the same time. So how can you get there? So we should all just continue being a madman and keep going on. You know, sometimes we just follow logic, follow the worldview. There is no new thing that will be created. No, I just spoke about the Spain. It didn't happen there. The England one is still going on. So I don't understand. And now you think it's these devilish people that you have to force to bring you to the table. How is it possible? It is not possible.
My people, remember the war that Britain fought
with
with Argentina when that island wanted to secede. That's a democracy. They don't let them secede.
That's why I laugh when I see all this.
Even America, some people want to be there. Even in America today, some people still are struggling.
Just wants to be on their own. They still advocate for it tomorrow. And you think it's not. And I'm not against people even continuing to agitate. I am all for it. They are supposed to. You know, this one day in Nigeria now saying, oh, you are insulting this person. The highest insult of the leaders is in United States. Somebody can even bring a video of Joe Biden and shit on top of his head and slash his throat in America, and we post it online. And you will see millions of people viewing those things, those contents in America. So when people cry foul in this, no, it's not today that people started fighting for marginalization or for their right. It's been there and it will continue. Even if Nigeria start working now, there will still be some people clamoring for separation. It's a fact. So, let's say don't let this consume us so much. I have said on a space, I said, my advocate for one Nigeria is not because I love Jimmy so much. No. It's not because I love the Hausa people so much. No. And my advocacy for one Nigeria is because of the population. The value of the population. America doesn't like themselves. Some white doesn't like. Look at what is happening in America today. But even in all of that, there's one thing that binds them together, even in all that hate, is the Constitution. It's the Constitution that if a Fulani man commits crime, he goes to jail. If an Igbo man commits crime, he goes to jail. If you're a Yoruba man, he commits crime. You don't have to like me as a Yoruba man. I don't care if you like me.
And how does that constitution work in your Nigeria?
Like me as an Hausa man. I do not care. What matters to me?
Oh, some people just get up and talk nonsense.
Part of what led to the agitation is treat me the same way you treat Jimmy.
So is that not why people are agitating? Because they're not being treated equally?
If you are investing in the western at the north, invest in the east.
So why are you talking from the two sides of your mouth?
I'm fast enough or smart enough to progress in my place, I progress. Do not treat me different. Washington is not in California, that is the richest state in America. That's not where Washington is. Texas is now cutting away from California. Florida is fighting, taking people from California. It's all a fight, and that is what we are advocating for Nigeria, where there will be this competition.
So why
people will start, thriving?
So is that the Nigeria you have?
Have a delusion that eventually, no, because it hasn't happened even in a developed world. But this is what we are asking for. The problem we have in Nigeria, I've spoken before, I say, I don't know the problem from our leader. I have even advocated for them to be a dictator. Even as much as I hate a dictator, I hate Putin, I hate President Xi. I cannot go to Dubai. Even if somebody dash me $1 million, I don't want to go there because of the way they treat Africans. I don't like it. But at the same time, these people have a way of, being good for their general masses. They can kill you as one of the people on top. If you give them problem, like somebody like Putin, he will fly out of the window any minute, any day. Once you do anything against Putin and you're on top,
can we move to the next speaker, please? This person, I don't even know. It's not making any point.
Out of the window, you'll be a dead person. But somehow, their people benefit. Who is ABS of Saudi Arabia? Where did he go to school? What profession does he have? That guy even wants to surpass China and America, and is playing his politics very well in the benefit of his people. I have asked this question: if you combine all the money that all these people are stealing in Nigeria, can any of them stand MPS? Can any of them, if you combine all their money together, give it to Dangote and say, go and stand between MBS to challenge him in money. You cannot get, he will not even be up to 10%. Can he go and challenge Putin in money? No. Collect the money together, go to President Xi. No. So, but somehow our own African owners, instead of killing the people on top in order to continue in their power, the only way they thrive is to continue to keep. Sorry. Anyway, so all I'm advocating is, even if they choose to be a dictator, do good for the people. Kill the people on top. In as much as I don't accept it or I will not agree and continue to bitch about it. But even if it's that system, okay, let's see it. But no, they refuse. So please, I believe in Peter Obi. I believe in him with everything inside me. Everything inside me. I've seen him work in Anambra State, and I believe he will still do it on federal level. I yield the mic for now.
Oh, please
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now, Lukman, you should be next. Please, guys, 4 minutes each. After Lukman, go to Captain, then Gaboni, please. 4 minutes each, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, I think everyone is still basically concerned about what is the solution. I agree with the previous man who has been in the military, that the constitution is our greatest challenge. My father served the nation, and he has said the same thing. I think when people have said this correctly over time, it means a point. Yes, we have three arms of government: the judicial, the executive, and the legislative. And the truth is, even when he becomes in and becomes the head of the executive, the judiciary and the legislative arm, could pretty much make things a challenge for him. So I want to just pitch in my own idea what I think might be a possible solution. So the first thing first is, I feel like if Obi is going to be successful, he's going to have to engage the youth in all of his programs to about 80%. That is because it is only the youth that are more than willing to change the situation at hand, which means as far as his ministerial list and whatever it is, 80% involvement or 90% involvement of the youths. Secondly is diasporians are also going to be strongly involved, because it is only a person that has survived or been able to escape out of the hole that can pull people in the hole out. And that's why I said, no matter how we talk to Nigerians back home, we as people who have actually gotten out of the hole are the ones that have the motivation to aid. So Peter Obi is going to need the help of diasporans greatly in terms of investments, because I tell you the truth today, even if they float the currency or not, which was just simply a lie anyways, because the floating of the currency was basically they devalued the currency, but they claimed that they floated the currency. And that was because they needed to change a lot of monies that the APC has into the US dollar and try to equate, advantages. So it would have to involve diasporans a lot in his plans, professional skills, wired, and all of that you can think of. You would also have to go back to the functionality of each state and make sure that each state is viable. I believe that starting up of youth groups, like for example, I think they have I'm just saying, maybe like the president in each state, there's going to be a cabinet sort of, that is strictly of youths and professionals who would be the eye and the nose and the ears of the presidency in terms of every single project and development that has to be carried on. I also believe that in terms of religiosity, we can also create a rule there, because the greatest population of people are in two places. They are in the government, they're in public institutions, which are schools, public schools, and they're also in church, in religious bodies. So it will also be important to be able to get information and to hit them as much as possible. I also think this is a period that a lot of diasporians and Nigerians that have been able to succeed would be as much as selfless as possible to be able to support the low class. And how do we support the low class? Give them access to knowledge. Like for example, I've been drafting a few things whereby I feel like Coursera is a useful form. There are different platforms that we can use to educate these people, and they have to pay little or nothing for it. As far as I'm concerned, primary and secondary education can't be free. We can be able to achieve this as a goal. By the time Obi is able to carry out all of these things, which I said can only be implemented with 80 to 90% of the youths, we wouldn't need the executive class, we wouldn't need the legislative arm, we wouldn't need the judicial arm. We'll be able to carry out all these things by himself, and by that time they will have no choice than to dance to the tune. So if Obi is really going to achieve his goal when he does come in, because yes, the legislative and judiciary wants to frustrate him, trust me, he has to involve the youths 80 to 90% in his selection of ministers, selection of offices, advisors, everything can think of it, and he must make sure that there's a office or there's a cabinet existing in each of the states, each of every state that is solidly manned by youth. That's just what it is, basically. Because that way we can be able to, survive and work in the actual sense of true federalism. Another thing is state policing. If you can also actualize state policing, it will help. Because one of the biggest issues we have is we don't understand that the Nigerian police force intentionally actually does post people from other regions, or most likely people of frictional mindset to regions, so that they can cause destabilization and all of that. So it's also very important. If we can also be able to actualize state policing, it will help. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks so much. Let's have Captain, then go to Liberty, then come back to Grandmaster, then go to Kitchen. Please, thank you.
No, let the people who have their hands up.
Okay.
I'm co-hosting, so don't worry. Just roll it right.
Okay, let's have Captain, then go to Kitchen, then go to Grandmaster. Please, then go to Facilitator, please. Thank you. Jimmy, I'm accepting your mic, but it's not. I don't know what is wrong.
Thank you very much, Imperfect. Greetings to Imperfect and Liberty, the co-host, BOKC, Grandmaster. All protocols duly observed. I came up because of Jimmy, and first of all, let me start with this. It's been 108 years since Nigeria came on board as a sovereign nation. I repeat again, it's been 108 years. So if you count from 1914 to 2023, it is 108 years. And in that 100, is anybody here on this space that can tell us the blueprint of Nigeria and what Nigeria has been able to achieve for these 108 years? And you can't compare apple to orange. You can't compare what is happening in Nigeria with Scotland and the rest of them.
Sorry, Captain X. Sorry. Quick announcement to everybody. If I'm waving at you, that's a sign for you to round up. Please. My apologies, Captain X. You have the mic.
So, let us cut to the chase of saying that some people are against P2B. I am a member of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. I wouldn't, or I will not join in this struggle if Nnamdi Kanu was looking forward to be a godfather. Because it is impossible, and it does not make sense in any sane clime to put a new wine in an old skin bottle. What you see happening in Nigeria is not supposed to happen if the various indigenous people came together to build their union. Will P2B do a very good job if he was the president? The answer is yes. But will it go smoothly? The answer is no. Just like what everybody is saying right now. P2B is not more brave than Isaac Borough Park. P2B is no more brave than King Sarobiwa? Where are they? They wanted the good for the people. So, before you come up to dissect Nigeria, you have to understand the foundation of Nigeria. And the leaders you have, the ones that have come and gone, none of them was there for your own interest, even up till now. And the funny part of it all is we have been so miseducated to believe that you only have Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. There are other ethnic groups who are above 2 million citizens, who are above 5 million citizens in those. Nigeria is just like...
Sorry, Captain X. Sorry, I am interrupting you because you have 1 minute, and I would like you to talk about what solutions you are preferring, so that at least we can get more viewpoints on solutions. Yeah. 1 minute more.
Yeah, I have. It is not today I started discussing politics. I mean, we all know the solution, but we keep running away from it, because if I begin to talk about the solution, you will be so blown away that you would want me to have extra time, right? But that is not the reason why I'm here. The reason why I'm here is this: if you want a better Nigeria, or if you want a better life,
Captain X.
Allow him to just finish.
Give us some suggestions of solutions. It's important. We all want to give us your own solution.
Hold on.
Please.
Allow him to finish.
Because I want this conversation to be very productive.
It's not about
Everything
you.
You are talking about, we all agree with. So give us solutions that you think would help, because we want to hear from everybody. Yeah. Thank you.
The only solution you have in this whole brouhaha is for every indigenous people to bring out their representative, sit down and form a union and say, yes, we want a Nigeria, and a Nigeria with a blueprint for the next generation and every other generation to come. But if you want to continue with this...
Captain, wait, that's fine. Let's not go back to the semantics. Now, can you give us representative, just in 60 seconds, if you can give us a blueprint in your own opinion of how that can be achieved? It's very important, because I'm trying to make this conversation a very productive one. So please, thank you.
Everybody was talking about the Constitution, right? No indigenous people wrote their Constitution that makes up the Constitution of Nigeria right now. They've just been amending the old one, right? So, can we come together and build a new one where the people can autonomously control their resources, create their own way, and have an economic power? Nigeria is supposed to have...
Captain X, I'm really sorry for cutting you through. Basically, you are just re-echoing the sentiments we all agree. Now, what I'm asking you is, what are the practical ways to get to that point where each people, based on the circumstances we have now, how do we get to that point where we can... Can you 1, 2, 3? Don't interrupt, please. It's very important. You will have your, because we are not antagonizing.
No, but you're the one making the conversation go slow. Allow him to finish.
We understand the sentiment, so I'm sorry. I'm just trying to cut away all the extra talk. I just want you to talk about where we are now with the challenges we face. How can we get to that point? What is the roadmap to getting each indigenous people representation at that round table discussion? So in your own opinion, straight to the modalities of how you believe that can happen. Thank you. 60 seconds. Thank you.
What is this lady feeling like?
First of all, we need to cut off ties. Number one is the new colonial ties. That is one. Second of all, release everyone who is fighting for the freedom of their people. Third of all, right, we all must come together and build a table. We need to have that conversation. Do we really want one Nigeria? Or do you want to go your separate way? Those who want the one Nigeria should continue. Those who doesn't want it should go their separate way.
I think the question I'm asking you is, how is this going in the present circumstance that we know right now, with the cabal that is in charge? We know that's not going to be easily given. So, because I know you're trying to avoid something, just spit it out as it is. So how do we do it? How do we? That's what I'm asking you. How can we make that happen right now? What is the roadmap? If you don't know, say you don't know, because right now you are just philosophizing.
Hold on. You want me to say exactly what you want to hear, but I've been giving.
No.
Okay, that's fine. Hold on a second. Okay. Wait, hold on a second. I want to ask you one simple question. Why do you think the obedience cannot go out and protest against what is happening?
Captain X, basically, this is not about obedience.
But you're the one making it about obedience. Allow him to speak.
I am the moderator. Listen. I am not trying to bring about sentiment. I'm simply trying to really have a productive conversation. So this is, forget me, I am apolitical.
Do you mean how to revitalize the economy? Do you mean how to revitalize the economy?
No, you are the one talking. You are the one. So, okay, this is what happened. That's fine. Time up. So you obviously can come up with, maybe some other speakers can come up with some real practical way forward. So thank you for your...
It's okay. You can debunk everything I'm actually telling you.
I'm not debunking everything.
The truth is, hold on. The truth is, Peter.
With all respect to everybody, even to your submission, basically now, we heard everything, so I'm trying to bring out the real substance of solutions which you haven't been able to give. That is basically
what are your solutions?
I have no solutions. That's why I'm asking you, because you can't give it, so leave it. I'm going to give the mic to who else haven't spoken. Facilitator, you have the mic. 4 minutes. Thank you.
I was Liberty. I was supposed to have the mic from what was said earlier.
Sorry, facilitator. Let's give it to Nkechi. Nkechi, you have 4 minutes. Sorry, Nkechi.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, facilitator. Hi, everyone. All protocols observed. I have to say something before I start. Liberty, I think you should probably allow people to speak. Because if you keep interjecting and asking them questions, it just makes the whole thing, the whole experience not so good. And then they will lose. Can I finish? Let me finish. I didn't come up to argue. So if you keep it, yes.
Sorry, some of you might not be used to my style.
No, it's not about your style. It's about what will work so that the experience will be good for everybody.
Same points in different ways. You know, it's in my ears.
Are you new on Twitter?
Basically, maybe it's me as a researcher and as a scientist. So it's actually nothing personal. So you see, not many of us have the skill. So I would rather, if we are, except the same perfect, if these are people repeating the same thing over and over again, fine. But if that's what you want to do, then that's okay. I am really interested to get the actual new idea that anybody is coming up with.
Can I speak now, please?
Saying the same sentiment.
The thing is, people.
No, sorry, Nkechi, with all due respect, you challenged me, so I'm trying to explain. Please don't get angry.
I haven't even challenged you. You didn't even allow me to finish saying what I was saying. Just calm down and listen to people. Then you can say whatever you want to say. Everybody comes up to air their opinion, not for them to echo what you're thinking. So they will lay their opinion. If you have a question, you ask them, but allow them to speak. That's all I'm saying. I'm not challenging you.
But Nkechi, I have given him, he has actually spoken for more than 7 minutes, and that's the truth.
I haven't even said anything. You have been the one speaking. So you're telling me I've spoken for 7 minutes. We've only been listening to you. Tell us how you want to rule us.
Not you, Nkechi. I am not trying to rule you. Sorry, Nkechi. I'm sorry you feel offended. I am really sorry. I'm very sorry.
Okay, sorry for that. Captain, sorry. I wasn't close to my phone, but for like almost 10 minutes, you were trying to get yourself. So, Captain, I beg, hold on. Okay, Nkechi, please, let's have you. Sorry for that, guys. Okay, let's just move on. Okay, let's move on. Thanks so much. Nkechi, over to you, please. You have the floor now.
Yeah, I'm.
Nkechi, are you there?
Yes, I was trying to unmute. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And so I'm just gonna sort of make references to what's been spoken before now, and I want to start with Pito because after the guy who said he was a Ghanaian and an Igbo man spoke, it sort of started driving the conversation to a different direction. I want to say that this space, I don't think this space is a P2B space because it wasn't stated anywhere that this space is an obedient space. So people come here based on the topic that they have seen that is being put up for discussion, even though we sort of are not discussing it at this moment. So people come with diverge opinions, depending on their own sentiments and their experiences in the country that we all call our country. So one, well, I wouldn't call myself an obedient because that's not my style of my own style, but I carry P2B for head, if that makes sense. I think that's one way to summarize it. So I am one of the greatest supporters of P2B, and I believe in him, and I am very, very hopeful that by the grace of God, he would be able to get his mandate back. That having been said, is so that I will use that to lay a foundation. But if Nigeria was working the way we all have been wanting it to work, and as people have been speaking, would people be agitating? For me, the answer is no. There might be agitations because, like someone else has said, agitations happen everywhere in the world, even in Scotland, like somebody used as an example, in Catalonia, somebody used as an example. So agitation will keep happening. Even if Nigeria was a bed of roses or Nigeria was paradise, you will still see people who would say, no, I don't like that, or I want to be on my own. But then we cannot compel everybody to believe in what we believe in. Because you think that P2B is going to be the solution to Nigeria, I should also believe that. No. So we should not talk down on people when they air their own opinion, or when they say, this is what I think, I want Nigeria to be restructured, or I want Nigeria to be separated, people to go to their own ways. It is their opinion. It is based on their own lived experiences. It's based on whatever they think that would move the country forward. But that does not invalidate your own opinion or your own thinking. You may try to convince them or to make them see your own light, or to make them believe in what you think is the way forward. But if they choose not to, that is their prerogative. That is their God-given right not to, believe in that. This Biafra agitation, people try to look down on it. But at the end of the day, it is what drives all the conversation. We are here to talk about Kenya reinstating subsidy and the killing of army officers, but we've ended up talking about Southeast and Biafra for so many hours, which is what constantly happens every day, which means there is something there. Oh, somebody made an Igbo adage earlier that where a child is crying and pointing their hand, that something is there. You cannot invalidate the struggles of the Igbo people, or you cannot say, oh no, Igbos, you should stop complaining because P2B is there. P2B is not an Igbo candidate, like we all want to believe and want to convince everyone. P2B did not come out to say, I'm representing the Igbos. P2B is representing Labour Party as a Nigerian. He is not there for the cause of Igbos. So whatever the Igbo people were crying for, or the Southeast, or the Biafra, if you want to call them that, were crying for before now, the problem is still there. The problem has not been solved. And it has even made it worse because there are people who were in the agitation side who thought, okay, I'm going to give this a last chance and give it everything I can to make P2B, because we all believe he is the right candidate. Let him go in there and probably things can start getting better. But look at how messed up the whole thing it became. So how do you now want to restore back their faith to believe in this same system that has messed up Nigeria for so many years and that has even messed up this last chance? So if people come up to say, I don't think the judiciary is going to do well. They have a right to say that. And they're saying that based on what we all have experienced. So we cannot be lying to ourselves or trying to, because I know we speak to existence. We all want to stay positive, including myself. But when other people have a contrary opinion, let us leave them to it. Because they have a right to have that opinion based on their own facts. Somebody was talking about Scotland, how it hasn't happened in Scotland, how it hasn't happened in Catalonia. But did that person also know that in Scotland that they have the devolution of power? Scotland or the UK do not have the same type of government that we have. It's not plutocracy that like is in Nigeria. Scotland sort of, even one could say that Scotland, that they have independent, that they are ruling themselves, because there are so many decisions they can make. The Scotland First Minister can make so many decisions without having to ask whoever is the Prime Minister. So there are certain areas that are reserved for the Prime Minister or for Scotland has a lot of powers of their own, which if we have even a little as 10% of the kind of structure that is run in the UK, Nigeria will not be in the position where we are in. So just for me to round off, I believe, because everybody has been asked for solution, I'm not here to proffer solution because I don't even know it myself. All the solutions that been proffered all over the years, none has been implemented, and the ones that were implemented did not work. So, but then I believe in restructuring, and I believe in giving it a last chance through P2B. For me, personally, I believe it, but I'm not compelling anyone else to do that. I believe in giving it a last chance through P2B, even though it's all been messed up, but I have faith within me that he will be able to get his mandate back, and then we can move on from there. But what happens if he doesn't? So I'm going to leave us with that question. Thank you.
Perfect. Can I give a roll call? I've listed about when you're finished making your submission.
No, perfect. I think I was supposed to go after I get you. So you don't forget. Nobody go tell me who the go next. Now you call me for nobody go tell me I might decide that you go after 5 people. Yes. Because say I already act like Jimmy, don't say now come here, so come they bully me. I don't go check my those with wait them come out from this place. But I cannot come out like thank you. I will take them like that. Life goes on. There's always another time. Alright, thank you so much. Liberty, want to say something before I go to
I wanted to apologize to Atinkechi. I think at the end of the day, we both share the same sentiments. But I wanted to make it clear that I come from the Niger Delta. I come from Bayelsa State. So if Southeast is agitating, I am agitating more. And that is the truth. Basically, I'm just trying to, at least you said one thing, restructuring through P2B. That is something, this is what I'm trying to advocate. As much as we're having these conversations, it would be nice if I personally, because I'm learning that I want to live here with an idea that comes from people. So that's all I'm trying to get to. I'm sorry if my approach seems off-putting. My sincere apologies. Please, Auntie Kechi, please don't get offended with me, okay?
No, it's okay, Dan. Thank you so much for being a matured person. I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. So please, as you make your submission, please drop. There's a lot of people requesting. So this is how I'm going to make it run. Okay, in this order, please. Grandmaster, number 1. Facilitator, number 2. I'm writing it down as I'm talking. Facilitator, number 2. Let me see. Bill Rookie. Number 3.
Kwalibo, please. Number 3 is a lady.
Who?
Kwalibo.
Okay, Kwalibo, number 3. Bill Rookie, number 4.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Comfort, are you male or female, please? Let me confirm. And also,
I'm a female. Okay. You're number 5.
Number 5. No, good.
Comfort, you're number 5.
His mic is not working.
He is not speaking.
Kenny G, keep quiet. You will say you are going to be the last, Kenny. You are not going first. Kenny is number 6. No, have I called Justice? Justice, what number did I give you?
Justice before Kenny, so Kenny will come last, please.
Yes, Justice is number 6. Kenny is 7. So in that order, Grandmaster, 4 minutes. If you see me waving, please round up. Thank you.
All right.
If you've spoken, please drop voluntarily. Thank you.
So this my hand that is up. No, nobody this year, maybe. I go down to listen and beg.
Captain X, you've spoken before now.
Hey, wahala.
Grandmaster, you have the mic.
All right. I'm just waiting for you guys to conclude. Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. One more time. I actually just came up because I heard all sorts of nonsense here, and I'm here to,
Grandmaster, point of correction, please. Please let us moderate our language. Everybody is entitled to express their opinion. No use of words like any negative vocabulary, please.
It doesn't matter.
Please.
It's my opinion.
Grandmaster.
Let me speak. This has nothing to do with your discussion. Let me speak, please. Let me air my opinion. Thank you. So,
Grandmaster, please. Grandmaster, you are being very disrespectful right now, and that's the truth. I have to tell you clearly. You have just used a very derogatory description. Nonsense. Grandmaster, calm down. I am your friend. Grandmaster.
I just want to say something.
Grandmaster, you don't understand.
Okay. Please.
Grandmaster, I choose the right to put you in the cooler. So sorry. Number 2 will speak since you don't want to comport yourself. Facilitator, you have the mic. Thank you.
Just mute me when I'm Grandmaster. You can't come here and say some the same nonsense. Imagine now that everybody just okay, you're about to talk nonsense. How would you feel? Please now, stop.
So I am going to be very strict. If people don't talk with respect and mutual regard for the speakers on this platform, no matter if you have a different opinion, I will, on that note, take you down. Please, it's important we express and use the right language. Please, it's very important. So, facilitator, you are next. You have 4 minutes. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I greet you all. I'm not sure that I'm the most brilliant person to give an idea on how to solve Nigeria's problem. And I'm only afraid that one day it wouldn't consume us. But in any case, just going back to the topic, Kenya reinstated subsidy, killings of our army officers. First and foremost, I'm going to say may the souls of the deceased soldiers rest in peace. I do hope that those in charge of the military will learn their lessons. Those in the security agencies will see reason to identify with ordinary Nigerians. Because the problem we are having today in Nigeria is as a result of security agencies aligning themselves with the ruling class, giving them that energy to trump over the masses. If you remove the security agencies away from the ruling class, they will not be able to survive for up to 24 hours. Now the security agencies are paying with their lives. Some of them are in the war front. The police officers are on the streets, underpaid, under the sun, extorting ordinary Nigerians, living in dilapidated houses. They can't even take care of their children. So it is time for them to start thinking of how to align themselves with ordinary Nigerians to rescue Nigeria. That's on the one hand. In regards to Kenya reinstated subsidy, I haven't followed the news that much. I think I heard it on the Voice of America this morning. But it is that I think it's a sovereign country, so they know how things work for them.
Okay, what's happened to him? Am I the only one that can't hear him? What's going on now? What's going on? Oh well.
Acting, pretend for once. You don't have to keep doing this high-handedness. Try as much as possible to pretend to do something, no matter how little, to cushion the effect. People are complaining. People are embittered. People are hungry. They need to eat. They need to survive. We need to do this in order to save ourselves. So, but beyond that, the problem with Nigeria, like I said before, is complicated. Like, it's very, very complex. But I think that we need to stand back to the first principles. Before I was born, our parents have been complaining about the problem with Nigeria. The same problem led to a civil war. The same problem led to military takeover from civilian regime. And until 1999, that we had Obasanjo coming under the civilian regime. Have we made any progress?
No.
Well, for me, I disagree. We haven't made any progress.
That's right.
Because if you look at the infrastructure we have had to look at the economy, plus the population. I can't pinpoint and say, I'm proud to say, this is what we've achieved since 1999. But more like being stagnant, and the current crop of politicians are not making any effort to solve the problem.
That's right.
The same thing led to the Oputa panel, also led to the calling for a sovereign national conference. That was we had so many callings from prominent Nigerians, from the clerk, business class, lawyers, human rights activists Femi Falana, what's the name, Gani Fawemi, and the rest of them, Olisa Bakoba. I think under Obasanjo in 2005 or 2006, we had the National Political Reform Conference. Why? Because people have been highlighting that, see, Nigeria has a problem. Nigeria did not create its own constitution. This adopted constitution by the military is not helping us. There is no consensus on how we should govern ourselves. With this pseudo-military administration, is not so-called federal government, is not helping us. And it has led to agitations in the West, in the East, in the North, and in the South. Let's come together and discuss and solve our problems. Billions of naira was budgeted for that very conference. People were handpicked from almost every local government in this country, sat together, deliberated on these issues. But the powers that be under Obasanjo decided to throw that under the carpet. About 7 or so years later, we had Jonathan in government. I've forgotten what was his name again, this Yoruba guy, who led people to Asurak. I think that was in 2013 or so, to raise this issue about this, because then we started having serious insurgency in the north. We had the Northern Elders Forum. We had the Arawa Consultative. These two, particularly, we were very, very vocal about complaining about issues, how they are being marginalized, how they are not getting fair share. It led to this same meeting in 2014. Billions was also spent again. We had the National Confab. Now, these are very important issues, but Jonathan swept it under the carpet because he was more interested in going for his second term than focusing on addressing this problem. Fast forward to 2016, 2017. Oh yes, when Nnamdi Kanu was in detention, then he was released in 2017, and then the issue of sovereign national conference kickstarted again, and over time, it became very, very popular. I'm seeing your hand. Just give me a few minutes, seconds to round up. So it became very popular, and then it became a very topic when Nnamdi Kanu was there speaking. But Nnamdi Kanu was apprehended in September 2000, exactly. It's 6 years ago, actually. Next month will make it exactly 6 years. What happened? He died a natural death. The same reason we've had people going back and forth, calls for police reforms and all that. We're not making any progress. But I think the first and foremost, what we can do is collectively say, okay, everybody now have been marginalized in Nigeria. There's irrespective of where you're coming from today, you have been marginalized. But what can we do? Can we go back to some of these deliberations? What is that thing that our parents, our leaders have talked about, our technocrats have talked about, that is being swept under the carpet? Can we go back to them? Can we pick out one or two and see how we can use it to address our problem? Even if it means organizing a referendum, let's do it. Because going through this pattern of moving, enduring, stretching,
just keep stretching, keep enduring. I do not know how long it's going to. I don't know how long it's going to take us, because what is happening now is that our lifespan is shortening. Every day we are crying, we are shouting. Even those abroad, every now and then we are making so much noise, we're so loud. We can't even enjoy our lives because of the several basic problems that we are suffering in Nigeria. Perfect, please. Let me round up here. So the thing is, let's go back to that point. Let's go back to that document. Let's pick out one or two things. Let's use it to address our problem. Like I've always said, people have been saying, yes, the obedient document is very, very fine. It was awesome. We tried that the same way people came out in mass and protested in 2020. Where did it go to? Absolutely nothing. Here we are now. We are fighting for our lives. Many people are currently in detention right now because they said one or two things, even though it is democracy. I just hope to share with the right thing. Shouldn't do the right thing. We'll continue to advocate that the right thing should be done. First and foremost, let's discuss as brothers. Look at what is happening now in Niger. I was listening to one of the
please round up in 20 seconds. Please, 20 seconds, round up.
Yeah, so one thing I learned from that is that the Nigerian government have a way of using force to do things. But eventually in this case, force is no longer working. They try to use force, but the allies in the north have seen that force is not going to help them. They decided to take it upon themselves to dialogue. Can we dialogue in Nigeria and use it to solve our problem?
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The next speaker is Kwalabo. You're next. Thank you. 4 minutes.
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Sorry. Kwale Ibo, I think. Sorry.
Oh. Is that my issues with those that have accent? It's Okwale.
Oh, I know my person. Okwale. Sorry, you're my person. My grandmother is from Okwale. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. Oh, bless you. I don't really meet people from that area. It's really nice to meet you, Liberty. And can I just say that I like how you're moderating. This is perfect.
I'm telling you, my sister, I'm just offended people. I'm just trying to make you because I'm enjoying the discussion and I just want to.
No. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
I think it's fantastic because it is centering the conversation. I'm not letting people go off on a tangent. And while I do understand that, all these spaces can be very therapeutic, it's nice that we get straight to the point and not keep recycling the same point over and over again. So well done, you. So to answer, I have an idea for a solution. I won't bother repeating everything because I agree with everything and there's no need going back and forth. The solution is this, yeah? And I don't mean it in a shady way. We are going to have to pack two things that is our problem in that country. Our obsession with religion and tribalism. Start there. Somebody said something, I apologize, I didn't catch his name. Something about creating a constitution, a sense of something that's bigger than our tribalism or our religion. And you know what, to me that is a fantastic idea. We need something that all Nigerians, regardless of tribe, can look up to and say, oh yeah, let this be the thing that I am proud of, that this country helps me fall in line. Until we get to that point, but we are not going to move forward. Now, this is my issue with religion and tribalism. To me, there are two things that they are serving to purpose. They are serving the exact same purpose in two different ways. It is force, and I'm sorry to say this, it is making people blind. That is it right there. If you cannot see past your own human experience, you are not going to have any empathy for the next person. And that's the truth. I keep on bringing up this video that I watched about a guy that said a genuinely intelligent person is also a very kind person. Why? Because for a lot of those people, they've allowed themselves to think outside the box, think outside their upbringing, suppress that human need to hate and to be suspicious or afraid of anybody or anything.
Okay, what's going on now? Hi, if you're watching, thank you for watching. We are in a space on Twitter, and that's where I'm streaming live from. So we're having the discussion we're supposed to have. It's on Kenya that's been announced to reinstate a subsidy, and some army officers who were killed in Niger State.
It's ridiculous to
Okay,
me.
we'll get back
But
to the space.
let us get rulers that are serious about
I don't know if the problem.
all this back and forth thing. Let us start voting in politicians who want to sell us the idea on why we should vote for them. Until we start getting that national pride, ladies and gentlemen, all of the solutions we have here are not going anywhere. We as Nigerians need to be proud to be Nigerians. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Miss Empaka, baby, so let me generate my sister. Kwale Ibo, thank you so much. Without prejudice to others who have spoken, I think this is one productive way forward I identify with. So without talking too much, let me give it to who is the next person after Kwale Ibo. I actually wrote it here. Okay, you are next. You got 4 minutes. Do like Kwale Ibo, 4 minutes exactly, because she not go beyond 1 second more.
Okay.
It will not be 4 minutes because people will be talking a lot of funny. I won't say rubbish. I'll say funny ideas.
Yes. Did you hear me, Abi?
I hear you now.
Imagine say a personal chief of army staff, then had been a chief of defense staff, they can't kill over 30 Nigerian soldiers. What do you think will happen to you? And they
You get liver to shoot Nigerian soldier.
Then the president no come talk anything. What if
No, you get liver to shoot Nigerian soldier. You get the liver. You see green and green camouflage.
I wonder the kind of.
I mean, you go beat soldier, not a kill. You beat soldier. You beat soldier.
No, don't mind them. Yet, Igbos are their problem.
I beg, now this is next talk. Don't worry, I'm timing him. Leave her making the talking. I'm timing him.
No, he's taking my own time now in the balance. And I beg, man, comfort. If your hands don't do the up, you will skip, you go somebody else, make you know that also concern you. Okay, but you over to your bed, go.
Oh, this is our time and at the time. Let me go for no conference on the about the work. Talk about issues soon. I talk about time. Now, number one, this is your referendum. Before you talk about referendum, you must have a central authority. Who drove the Midwest referendum? We had Okutiebo at the table. He funded NPC, Mr. Amado Bello. He funded it. Who from Southeast fund APC? I will then hear the president, he will listen to me. Who can you point at? Nobody. But you are always pointing Midwest referendum. Your traditional rulers, Oba Benin stood out. Toe with Awolowo. Toe with Awolowo. Face him. They won't threaten them. Which place for Southeast? Which king will come out and stretch out his neck for the Southeast? Nobody. But you want referendum. Go to the North. You said the Adama put the referendum. When the Lamido of Adama is speaking for the Adama, who they talk? For that, I say, who they talk? Lamido of Adama, they talk. Who they talk? Get the speaking. Nobody want a referendum. It will not work. Stop wasting your time. Someone talk about something about US. US started as what? Colony. He started each different British colony. Those colonies became states. Those states picked their own electorate. That's how they picture Washington. For your information. Not be so from Nigeria. We were never conquered together by one person. It was separate colonies. 3, Lagos, North and South. Then Abeokuta. Let me tell you something. Even Abeokuta was not in Nigeria as of 1914. Abeokuta became a part of Nigeria in 1924. So they were a part of Nigeria. If you look it up, they had a separate treaty with Britain. This is not our problem. Talking about this issue of Spain, for your information, there's nothing like Spain. The House of Aragon, House of Navarre married and conquered the entire Spain, drove out the Moors out of Spain. Different kingdoms came together. One house conquered all of them. And that's why they are fighting today. So this Catalonia talking, you better go to the history. The royal houses, they conquered each other. Nobody in Nigeria conquered us. Nobody. Go to the UK. You're talking about Scotland. King James now from here. King James went through that Bible. He's not the king of Scotland. His mother is a Queen Mary of the Scots. He was adopted by Elizabeth I of England to be her heir. Melding Scotland and England. He's conquered Ireland. Only Nigeria is that. The inside that same UK. They are talking about UK is a perfect model. Okay. How many people from Wales have become prime minister of UK, a part of your nation? We move for Don Brown. How many men from Scotland don't ever become UK prime minister? You think that by mistake, Abi? You know what come for England, you want to go UK. Oh, Fulani, they rule us. Oh, why UK put them? Why they not complain about UK? What Scotland say you want to go UK now, prime minister? Now you speak English, but English not your language, self. It's not even your language in the first place. You're from Scotland. English is not your language. You're from Wales. English is not your language. It's not. But we would like to lie to ourselves. Go to France. Northern France and Paris, they know they agree. Instead of saying France, I've been a Belgium in one go. Wallonia and Flanders, I studied it. They know they agree. They don't agree. But you say you want startup. You want a referendum for. Go to your history. Now talking about solution, very simple. Do you know in the north they have northern unity schools? If you don't come from the 19 northern states, you don't attend that school. I taught in one of those schools. Do you have it in the southeast? A school meant for only the Igbos from the southeast. You know, not ordinary secondary. I'm telling you, these schools, Commissioner of Education of each of the states, they nominate children to go to those schools, boys and girls. I say if you, except you have your
I concur, Biruki. I served in one of those schools in Sokoto. Yes, you're very correct. I served in one of those schools. They bring them from the local government in each of the states. They bring them in there. They actually select them in there.
Funded for the house. They shop 3 times a day. You don't go to school eat 3 times a day. They won't kill them, die with food. I've been a salad. 2 cows to one school.
In fact, this one, Federal Science College, Sokoto, Kwari. Go there, still there.
This one belongs to the states. It's not even federal. The states own it. 19 other states. They have their own schools for themselves. Only for themselves. And the one that they united. Then with Taraba, all of them, they did the same classroom. Imagine for 6 years, even the boys, for 6 years together, they'll go to their own university, they will come at me, they come vote as senator for you. They will never vote for you. Look at the Southeast.
So your point is, get straight to the point. Stop talking nonsense. Is Southeast your problem? What of your own? Where did you come from? Talk about where you come from.
Go to South. The same problem they're having. Your governors not no left from where they pay Akara General 80 billion naira to collect 30% of the fund. Your governor also, you are talking about you want us to go and discuss with him.
So what's your solution?
Thank you so much. I remember when
you're talking nonsense.
Tournament, they come pick the best players and they're almost from one region. I know what happened. If they try to do that now in the southeast or I don't know in the part of southern part of Nigeria, they always tag them as being tribalistic. So I don't know if that is going to work out. Anyway, thank you so much, Biruki. I would like to ask you something, but just escape my mind. But when I remember, I'll get back to you. Okay.
Stay up there. It's comfort.
Okay,
no, it's comfort too. Comfort. Good evening, a panel of judges, co-debaters, brothers and sisters all over the world where you're joining us from. My name is Comfort Ekanem. I am here to represent how to take care of our motherland, Nigeria. I'm actually speaking to you from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm close to Comfort. Yeah.
Hello.
Sorry, but this is what we do to take away the pressure from Nigeria. So, very simple. My solution to the problems that have caused me depression. In fact, I escaped it during election in Lagos. Since then, I've been in and out of depression because I don't know where else to go to. This is my country. Okay, so having sat down to, think of the solution. Number one, I was glad to hear that Niger military has taken over. That's what I've been thinking. Because I think that's the first thing Nigerians need to do. Military, if not that they're being fed sport mates, they're supposed to know that we cannot go further with so-called democracy in this country. Nothing can come out of it. If a 89 years old man could get from past with battery and then send forth to be a president of this country, that means we cannot go further in looking
So number one, military should hijack the government. Not that they want to rule the government, just to hijack, close the borders. Okay, we are the giants of Africa. We are the one feeding the Westerners. Our resources are what they are using in making themselves what they are. Close our borders. Close. If you want to close Africa, fine. Because these Africans that are starting this thing, I'm very sure they were actually waiting for Nigeria to do this that they've started doing. Close everybody, cut their left hand and their right hand, their right leg away from our resources. Then call everybody. People who think that Jesus is white, call them to clean the brainwash and told them that God loves Africans so much that He deposited everything we needed in terms of natural resources on the land of Africa. And Nigeria has the largest part of these resources. Okay? Scrape your brain, like what Kwale Igbo said, from tribe and religion. Think of us as brothers and sisters. I don't want to know one language. If we can communicate with English, I will say, I'm Nigerian. Yeah, that's my brother. We should come to that. Number two, that's the solution. Then, we should cancel all licenses. I'm very sure a lot of people here don't even know the natural resources that is coming from the land that you came from. Some people just know, like Liberty here, you're from Bayelsa. Oh, all come from like Bayelsa. Do you know the natural resources, not minerals, apart from oil? You know, do you know the things that are under the ground that has caused these Westerners to bring Boko Haram? And every night they will be taking out our resources to go and bother. In fact, they have corrupted our leaders that they will just close their mouth. You think Elofai speak because he knows how to speak? He is paid heavily to confuse the people in Kaduna State that it's all about Haram and Muslim and this thing and this thing. He used that to brainwash them. Every night the helicopters are taking their gold, taking their red diamonds, taking everything out of this country. To cancel every licenses given to anyone to take the natural resources from this land. Number three, are you seeing my step? Then when we finish that, we now call that dialogue we are talking about. We sit down as everybody matters in this country. We create a constitution for Nigeria, for Nigerians, from Nigeria, and then make sure that every Nigerian citizen is important. Your life matters first before where you come from or who your father is. And if you are from instance, I'm going to use
please, a minute more, ma. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, all right. Where your oil comes from, we have crude from Bayelsa, and then we're going to do a constitution that benefits everybody, but we're going to give, special recognition that okay, these people from this land needs to have better when we are sharing whatever is coming, what is going to come from this place to other people in the country. Then, after then, we now create a justice, ministry of justice, and make sure that no one is corrupt in that, because that's another corrupt place in this country. No one is corrupted. No one corrupted should be in that ministry, and of course it should be independent, so that when there is a law that guides the country, when somebody goes against the law, the person faces these consequences without looking at face or favoritism or whatever, without tribe or religion. Thank you, and that's my submission.
Thank you so much for your questions. The other solid minerals from Bayelsa is clay, which is untapped, and silica. which can be used for making glass, clay for making ceramics, just to answer your question. The next person to speak it would have been Kenny G, but he's dropped off. So, Justice, you have the mic. 4 minutes. Thank you. Justice, are you there?
Justice, he only speaks when Jimmy is there.
I'm here.
Okay, Jimmy, you muted your mic. Okay. Over to
Thank you, everyone. I think we're making progress. Now everybody is agreeing on one thing. And one thing that Nigeria is not working. It's not working for anybody. And that is a point everybody have to take away that for 62 years of your country existence, nothing have ever worked. Instead, they have been taking the life of the people that composed that contraption, which is something we need to examine. And so this thing we are dying for, does it what the value we are giving to it? Then we cannot come to a conclusion. And people are asking, what is the solution? What is the solution? What is the solution? The solution is all in our hands, but we choose not to take it because we feel it will favor some people, or it will validate what some people have been saying all along. That is the point I see people do. That when they ask solution, you find out that the solution, all of us know the solution, all of us know the problem. We know how to tackle it. But if we have to take that action, maybe somehow you have been able to cascade people that have come up with that solution in the past, which me included. Because I remember before 2015, if you tell me that I will be in my position, I will say you're an idiot. So I can call you so many names. But sometimes when some of us who have experienced Nigeria firsthand are talking, people will say, no, they speak rubbish, this and that. The solution is simple. I keep asking this question. We talk, we discuss, but where is the power of the people? The people who give you democracy, give you the definition. They say democracy is the power of the people, by the people, for the people. Is it what is applicable in Nigeria? The answer is no. If they say the power belongs to the people, it didn't belong to the government, it didn't belong to the constitution, it didn't belong to, the power belongs to the people. And if the people choose that says, we don't want this constitution, is their power. They use it the way they want. And the people rise and said, we want this constitution, but we need to vote on it. It's also their right. And the people say also, we don't want this government, no matter what you do. It's their right. But today, everybody's afraid. And the little people that are standing up and saying, no, our children are not going to live like this. Our future is not going to be like this. We can't continue in a society that can kill and maim, nobody talks, and they claim democracy. People cannot even have something to eat. People are starving. Hunger everywhere. And the people are thinking that there's going to be somehow or miracle will happen and there will not be crime where people are hungry. In a survival game, no rules. People do whatever they have to do to survive. That's how human beings are made. But in Nigeria today, everybody can see that things are getting bad. And nobody's coming to this question. For 62 good years, does it mean that we cannot be able to produce a single man or a woman that can take this country and turn it around? For 62 good years. Any man or woman that is 62 years today is going on retirement. But Nigeria is 62, and I ask, how many years does it take to build a nation? Dubai, for example, had their 50 years. The past 50 years, they have developed. Things have changed. Things have turned around. But we are still here arguing about who people we put in power. people will do this and do that. Although we don't put them in power, you can see we don't put them in power. The solution is simple. I said, we need, at this time around, I don't know why we are the other people are always center ourselves in this conversation. I want everybody to be practical. In your family, think about the things you can tell your children, the lies or truth you want to tell them, the way you want them to be when you are no more here. When you now look at those things, you begin to know how to channel their energy, because the energy we're having here today is not changing anything. It's time we rise and take the power of the people and said, do we want to be one Nigeria or we don't want? Let people choose. But you can see that people are putting us by fire, by force. You must die here. You must die here. You prefer that I see your hand. But the truth, thank you. I'm going to round up in 1 minute. Anybody who made peaceful revolution impossible, he will make the violent revolution possible. If we insisted that people have to live in this contraption with this kind of thing by fire, by force, one Nigeria must stand. Be ready to take the things that will come out from it. But if we choose that we don't want people dying anymore, it's our time we said, do we want this Nigeria or do we must have to go back there? People don't want to have this conversation, but that is the number one discussion we need to have if we want a better Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Justice. I beg, Patrico, I think we should be last speaker in this place today, please, just to follow. Thank you so much, please. Patrico, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, over to you. I can hear you. Over to you.
Yeah, good day, everyone. Thanks so much for the submissions. And, the votes will do well. But, I don't really want to dwell much on, the vast, the general solution to all the problems in Nigeria. But there's something that got my attention. Recently there have been some people, peddling the notion that even if all the refineries in Nigeria were operational, that fuel would still be the same amount it was, and all that, narrative that they are trying to push, because it's a recent narrative they are trying to push, in all the media houses. And I was even in a space earlier today, and they were pushing the same thing, But I just wanted to, because wherever I go and I just, especially now that they are peddling it, I want to make it clear that is a very, very false notion, If, for instance, if you look at Algeria, Algeria, for a liter of petrol in Algeria is about $0.338, which is about 260 naira per liter. And Algeria just has about 5 state-owned refineries that are operational. You understand? So when these people come out and they make such absurd claims to justify the problem Nigerians are going through, and something that have been said earlier on, in a developed country, before you remove it like that, you have to put in place some measures that will cushion the city. There are 2 things that you can do. Nigeria is not the first country to remove subsidy, but when you study those that remove subsidy in developed countries, they remove subsidy in stages, or they cushion. For instance, they can subsidize another aspect of the country that is cheaper to subsidize and that has more reach. For instance, if you subsidize agriculture, before you now start removing the subsidy on oil in stages, it will ensure that when the subsidy is being removed, it will cushion the price of food, for instance. At least people can buy food at a cheaper rate or at the same rate they were buying it before and after the subsidy is eventually removed. But these people just went ahead and just removed the subsidy, and they are now lying to Nigerians that even if we had 50 oil refineries, that fuel will still be selling at this absurd rate it is selling. Meanwhile, if you just do a simple research on countries that have functional refineries, that can refine what they need, which Nigeria will be able to do, you will discover that when you remove things like the cost, for instance, if you check the cost of natural gas in, let's say, the United States, for instance, and you check the cost of that same natural gas in Europe, especially now that they have cut off gas from Russia, you see that it's almost, especially during winter, it can get to almost times 10 of what, the exporters, gain based on, transportation costs and all that. A day, or if you're exporting natural gas, a day on the sea is about close to $450,000 just a day on sea, to show you how much transportation costs affects the price of commodities. So when these people come out to the public domain and lie to Nigerians, I'm just wondering, why are, this drives me to my conclusion. Let me just conclude by, being in the same line that everybody has been talking about. When you look at the general solution of Nigeria, we need to go back to a regional system of government, where every region harnesses what they have and use it for their region. It will help, and we have healthy competition among the regions, and Nigeria, can, because at least we were doing better when we had that system of government, and then we have zoning enshrined in our constitution, so that you don't have this is a case where you have two wolves and one sheep, and you ask them to vote for what they will have for dinner and things like that. Developed countries have zoning in their constitution. Switzerland has zoning in their constitution far back, 17. I've forgotten the board. As far back as their original constitution, they had zoning enshrined, because they are different. They are like different cultures, kind of, in a way, living in one country. And if you look at their zoning structure, they were very clear. They were like, it was put in place so that those that are the majority will not trample on the minority. So, that's all I have to say for now. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks so much. Liberty, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, let's have your place, because she will not speak.
Yes. My people, I want to thank you so much for the opportunity for me to co-host. I want to apologize once again for anybody that's been offended. So I just want to redirect a couple of stuff. A few of your submissions I very much widely align with. One thing that is pertinent is this: we are all accepting that there is a problem, and we're all coming with different solutions. But one thing we're not agreeing on is the practical. Some of us have an idea of what a practical help is. Some of us are still giving, your views are very correct, but you're still not showing a roadmap. So it's like you have an obstacle. How do you climb it? We're at the point where we know restructuring is what we need. We know each region has to be able to control their resources. But what I'm trying to picture, some people have managed to give a kind of roadmap, some people haven't. So I think until where we can all and actually think of a pragmatic and a way forward. And I'm sure what some of us are avoiding, but I'm not going to spell it out for you. Some of us know exactly what is in our mind, and some of us know, but at the end of the day, we want to arrive at where we're going to arrive at, one way or another. So, and somehow, according to Bonaboy, everybody will chop breakfast one way or another. For me, this is the solution that I envisage, I see. Forget whatever the obedience, some of you are angry, some of you feel irritated by what the obedience, I see, ideologies. The obedience was just coined out of the fact that we supported one man, Peter Obi, fine.
we just coined it. But ideally, what the obedient ideology stands for is exactly what every agitator stands for. But I believe we are looking at what is pragmatic. How can we get to where we're getting to, where we will get to even begin to initiate all those reforms that we're looking for? Because until we agree, where all the different agitators can say, okay, based on the solution, based on our problem now, of in terms of politics, how it is, then we have only one way of trying to begin with a roadmap through. I'm sorry, except we unify in our differences in opinion, we're not going to get anywhere. The agitators will continue to agitate, the obedience will continue to be obedient, and the only people gaining are the people that continue to divide, rule, and conquer, which is the cabal politicians. So I hope in our different individual reflection, we can actually find a way whereby we join forces to use what how do we put it, make the best of what is there, because we can scatter the cards and rearrange it, but how do we get to where we are going to scatter the card? That is where a lot of us are skirting around. So thank you so much, people. So for that reason, I support Peter B, or yes, I do. And I know that when it comes in, it might not give us all the solutions we need, but it will start something. And fundamentally, we are talking about the rule of law. Whether you're agitating, what have you, if you don't have a leader that can enthrone and insist that people respect the fundamental principles of the rule of law, even you agitating, your freedom of agitation will not be protected. And that is what we are all suffering for today. That is why Nnamdi Kanu, that is why the present political cabal will not respect the judiciary. It's not perfect, but we need somebody that is the middle ground to bring about where every divergence in opinion can come together and begin to see a way forward. So thank you so much. God bless you as you continue your deliberation. Mr. Lukman, and I notice you've been very quiet, or maybe you're busy. Now you can take over. Mr. Imperfect, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Thank you so much. Let's call it a day also. Lukman, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Everybody, I beg, if you've not spoken, no vex, I beg. Tomorrow is another day. And this place was quite impromptu. I don't want it was going to be this long. I beg, no vex. I have maintenance not to do. So thank you so much. Make sure you guys have a nice evening. A nice day ahead.
Yeah, thank you. If you've been watching, I had said that we're in a space, and this space is happening on Twitter, and that is where I've been streaming from. So we were actually initially discussing about the Nigerian soldiers who were killed in Niger State by bandits yesterday. I believe a lot of us would have heard that story by now and have details of what happened with it. So obviously, you know how these discussions go. One thing will always lead to another, from discussing about what's happening in Nigeria, and also we were talking about Kenya that had reinstated a subsidy. It's also something that's been in the news today. So, and obviously, at the end of the day, everything has a way of going back to Biafra, going back to Southeast. This is what I've observed with the spaces, you know, and with all these discussions, all these political discussions, even on YouTube and Facebook. You want to talk about one thing, and every time, it all goes down to Biafra. It all goes down to Southeast. I don't know why, but then like I said, if you heard when I made my submission earlier, I had said that ebe nwata na-arụ aka na-ebe akwa na-arụ aka, ọ bụ na nne ya anọghọ di a, nna ya nọrọ di a, which is, I mean, if you don't understand Igbo, is that when a child is crying and pointing to somewhere, there's a reason that child is pointing to that place. If the mother is not there, then the father would be there. So how come that every time we're talking about Nigerian politics, he finds a way to end up in talking about the Southeast and talking about Biafra agitation, which means there is something there. if people would want to tell themselves the truth, if Nigeria was working, people would not be agitating. And even, that is one, and even when they do agitate, they will not be able to have so much support, because people will be like, I mean, what is the problem with you? But people agitate and get support because everybody knows that what they are agitating for is the truth. So that is it. But our discussion today, like I said earlier, it's not about Alibo. It's not about Southeast. Neither is it about Biafran agitation, even though it always has a way of ending up there. But the discussion was about the over 20 Nigerian soldiers who were killed in Niger State. It's out there in the news. That happened. It's quite unfortunate. And in fact, the news I got earlier today is that it's actually more than the number that's been projected in the news, that there are a lot of people that died, and there's so many of them that are in very severe situations in the hospital. May their souls rest in peace. And in Nigeria, it's wahala everywhere. And we all keep our fingers crossed and hope that there's going to be a way forward. If not, the country is going to implode on its own, and we would all have to suffer the consequences. And on that note, I'll be ending it for today. And I beg you to please, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel to help the channel grow. And if you're on Facebook, kindly like or follow the page if you haven't. Help me to share. Your sharing would help the channel grow, because it will also make more people to connect to the program. And I hope to see you again tomorrow or anytime soon. Do enjoy the rest of your night. Good evening. Bye for now.